Now, petrol prices could reach a new record this year, according to the motoring organisation, the AA. It wants the Chancellor to delay a planned 3p increase in duty, due to come into force on April the 1st.
Petrol has become much more expensive over the past 10 years. In 2000, when motorists across the UK protested against rising prices and taxes, a litre of premium unleaded cost 75p.
Well, after that, they dipped as the amount of duty was reduced, but since then they've increased steadily. High crude prices led to big increases in 2008, with the average price topping £1 a litre for the first time.
But today, even higher, despite crude falling last Monday, the average price was £1.13 a litre.
Well, let's speak to Brendan McLaughlin from the consumer website petrolprices.com, who's there in our central London studios. We just saw our graph showing a very, very clear picture, exactly what the AA was saying. How high do you think it can go?
I think that the prices at the moment, they've been rising, as we can see from the graph, that's sort of been rising quite a lot already. I think it's mainly been driven by the fact that the currency and the oil price have kind of come together in this, well, effectively, when they're both happening at once, when the pound's getting weaker against the dollar, which is what we buy oil in, and at the same time the price of oil itself has been rising. That's kind of what's driving it. So, you know, it's anyone's guess as to where that will stop, but hopefully, you know, we've seen some of the worst of it.
But for the consumer, I mean, is there any respite that is likely?
Well, I think what people need to do is they need to make sure they shop around, because when the prices are rising, that's the point where the biggest savings are to be had, because some stations will put their prices up sooner than other ones, and so when there's that difference between one station and another one, consumers can actually shop around and save quite a lot more than if the prices are static. So it's, you know, our advice is to be aware of what you're filling up at and make sure that you're always getting the best price.
And you obviously keep a close eye on that. I mean, is that the case on the ground, that there is a variety, and if there is, how much do prices potentially vary by?
Well, I mean, in sort of any typical area, you might see prices at the moment varying by up to sort of 7p. Now, it wouldn't be that much normally, but because prices have been rising, effectively what you've got is sometimes a petrol station will refill their price every sort of 2 weeks. So they'll buy at one price, and they have to keep that price for the next couple of weeks. So if you're shopping at that station and they've just bought at the highest price, you're going to get a bad deal. So it's a matter of sort of keeping a lookout for the stations that haven't quite run out of the fuel which they bought at a lower price, and making sure that you fill up at those ones.
Well, Brendan McLaughlin, thanks for those thoughts.